Hello everybody, welcome to iExamBee's Legal Bee. This is Amrita, your law faculty here at iExamBee. Embrace the iExamBee learning experience with us. And if you're preparing for any competitive examinations after your law, then you are at the right place, as iExamBee provides you coaching for various exams like SEBI Grade A Legal Officer, IBPS SO Law Officer, IBPS RRB Law Officer, etc. सो इन सारे एग्जाम के कोर्सेज को चेकआउट करने के लिए आप www.iexambee.com पर देख सकते हैं. इन कोर्सेज के डेमोज भी अवेलेबल है. कोई भी क्वेरीज हो, यू कैन राइट अस एन ईमेल ऑन hello@iexambee.com. You can also call us on the number 920552408. Write to us in the comment section of this video, and don't forget to subscribe to Legal Bee, which is the exclusive law channel of iExamBee. At Legal Bee, we keep on providing you various beneficial videos that are helpful in your preparation for examinations, and also strategic as well as content. Both kind of videos are available at iExamBee's YouTube channel. Legal Bee को जल्दी से सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए, and also download our app for 50% faster job preparation. I have started a series recently that is relating to the questions which are very important for SEBI Grade A Legal Officer examination. 300 most important MCQs I'm going to discuss, and today's video is the fourth part in which I'm going to discuss a set of 20 MCQs from Arbitration Conciliation Act. बाकी के पार्ट्स अगर आपने मिस कर दिए तो आप उसको प्लेलिस्ट में जाकर देख लीजिए. फर्स्ट, सेकंड, थर्ड part is already released. Today I'm going to discuss Arbitration Conciliation Act in the fourth part of this video. Total of 300 MCQs I have picked for discussion with you all, which will be helpful for your exam preparation. आप इन PPTs को भी डाउनलोड करके रख सकते हैं, इन क्वेश्चंस को प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं. Starting with the very basic, what is ADR? Adverse dispute resolution, alternate dispute resolution, alternate diverse reactions, alternate disagreeing systems, adverse disagreeing resolutions. What is the full form of ADR? Very basic, from which all these methods have come out: arbitration, conciliation, mediation, negotiation. So the full form is alternate dispute resolution, which refers to a variety of all these processes and techniques designed to help disagreeing parties come to an agreement instead of going for litigation. A communication through WhatsApp providing a record of agreement to arbitration shall not amount to an arbitration agreement, not amount to a valid arbitration agreement, amount to an arbitration agreement in writing, amount to an oral arbitration agreement, C or D, that is, amount to an arbitration agreement in writing or amount to an oral arbitration agreement as per the discretion of arbitral tribunal. What is the meaning of this option? That it is left to the discretion of the arbitral tribunal that उसको किस तरीके से ट्रीट करना है, arbitration agreement बोल के ट्रीट करना है या oral arbitration agreement. Correct answer is C. It shall amount to an arbitration agreement in writing. Section 7 of arbitration agreement talks about, clause 4 talks about specifically that electronic communication providing a record of the agreement is also treated as existence of a valid arbitration agreement. An oral arbitration agreement is recognized as agreement at the discretion of the arbitrator, is not recognized as an arbitration agreement, may be recognized depending upon the facts and circumstances of the case, is recognized at the consent of the head of arbitral tribunal only in exceptional circumstances, at the implied consent of parties to the arbitration proceedings. So when we talk about oral arbitration agreement, what it is, correct answer is B, is not recognized as an arbitration agreement because it should necessarily be in writing only. If a party approaches before court in spite of having an arbitration agreement, court may refer matter for arbitration, court may take up matters for adjudication, court shall refer matter for arbitration if a valid arbitration exists, court may refer matter for arbitration even if there does not exist arbitration agreement. It is up to the parties that they may go for arbitration or they may continue with a litigation. So when a party is approaching the court, what is the situation? This concept should be clear, that whether court intervention should be there or not. Correct answer is C. Court shall refer matter for arbitration if a valid arbitration exists. Section 8 talks about the power to refer parties to arbitration when there is an arbitration agreement. This power rests with the court. When a person is approached in connection with his possible appointment as an arbitrator, he shall disclose in writing the circumstances which create a doubt as to his impartiality. Such circumstances being existence of any interest in subject matter of dispute, existence of any interest in parties of the dispute, circumstances that are likely to affect his ability to devote sufficient time to arbitration. Both A and B are correct. A, B, and C all are correct. So, whenever a party is approached in connection with the possible appointment as arbitrator, if there are circumstances that he is having any of the following interests in parties, subject matters, or he is not able to give sufficient time to arbitration, so all these circumstances are correct. Correct answer is E. If he is having a doubt regarding this, then he should mention that first only. Still, if he is going on, then that can become a ground for challenge. On challenge of what? Challenge of the arbitral award, also challenge of the appointment of an arbitrator. Section 12 covers this. Which of the following is a wrong combination of number of arbitrators in an arbitral tribunal? 2, 3, 1, 5, 7. Very, very easy, and within seconds you can solve the question if you know the logic behind it. Even numbers are not allowed if you are talking about the composition of arbitral tribunal. Section 10 specifies that any number can be there in an arbitral tribunal. Sole arbitral tribunal can also be there, but 2 cannot be there because 2 is an even number over here. Rules relating to jurisdiction of an arbitral tribunal shall be made by Supreme Court, High Court, presiding arbitrator, arbitral tribunal, parties themselves. नाउ हु इज गोइंग टू मेक द रूल्स? ये बहुत ही इजी क्वेश्चन है, बट कई बार ऑप्शंस देख के हम कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. पार्टीज तो नहीं रूल्स बनाते, आर्बिट्रल ट्रिब्यूनल खुद ही बनाता है. प्रिसाइडिंग आर्बिट्रेटर अगर रहा तो कोर्ट. सो द क्वेश्चन इज वेरी इजी. इफ यू नो द आंसर, यू नो इट. आंसर इज डी. Arbitral tribunal is having the competence to rule on its own jurisdiction. We have a direct section for it, section 16. Interim measures can be ordered by an arbitral tribunal as per section 9, 17, 10, 11, 5. Now here, what is the question? It is talking about interim measures that can be ordered by an arbitral tribunal. And I would like you all to go through this section, because interim measures, when we are talking about, we should be very clear. There are two sections under this act that are talking about interim measures. One is talking about the tribunal's power for ordering interim measures, and one is the court's power for ordering interim measures. So here, that's why I wanted to point it out for you. Answer is B. Section 17 is for arbitral tribunal ordering interim measures. Section 9 is for court ordering interim measures. Both are important areas from this act. The mandate of an arbitrator can be terminated if he is not able to perform his functions de facto, if he is not able to perform his functions de jure, he withdraws from his office, parties agree to termination of his mandate, all of the above. So, mandate of an arbitrator can be terminated if, correct answer is E, all of the above. All of the above is the correct answer. Failure or impossibility to act, section 14 talks about it. Mandate of an arbitrator shall terminate and he shall be substituted by another arbitrator. If he becomes, all of these conditions are there, then that will be terminated. And all these conditions we have covered in our options. Arbitral tribunal is competent to rule on its own jurisdiction, rule on objections as to existence of arbitration agreement, rule on objections as to validity of arbitration agreement, rule on validity of arbitration clause as well, all of the above. So arbitral tribunal is competent to rule, but on what areas? Correct answer is E, on its own jurisdiction and also these areas: objections as to existence of arbitration agreement, validity of arbitration agreement, arbitration clause, इन सब पे arbitral tribunal rule कर सकता है. Section 16 covers this. Arbitral tribunal in regard to its procedure shall be bound by CPC, shall be bound by Indian Evidence Act, is not bound by CPC, is not bound by CPC or evidence. The parties are free to determine that procedure. Is bound by CPC or Evidence Act if the parties are not able to determine a procedure. So the options have made it very tricky over here, that whether they are bound, whether they can take help of CPC evidence. If the parties are not able to determine the procedure, what is actually the situation. So your concept should be very clear over here. Correct answer is D. It is not bound by CPC or Evidence Act. The parties are free to determine the procedure. Simple, straightforward question answer. Section 19 talks about this. Court can provide assistance in taking evidence to arbitral tribunal in all the cases when the arbitral tribunal makes a request, when any party with prior approval of arbitral tribunal makes an application, no evidence taken in arbitration proceedings, court may directly call upon the matter before itself. So assistance can be taken from the court, that is true. Correct answer is when a party with prior approval of arbitral tribunal makes an application, only then. Definitely the party has to make an application, and prior approval of arbitral tribunal is very important over here. Section 27 covers this area. When does an arbitration proceeding commence? When the arbitral tribunal is constituted, when the arbitrator passes its first interim award, when the request for arbitration is made by one party, when the request for arbitration is received by the other party, when the request for arbitration is received by the respondent, unless otherwise agreed by the parties. So when does an arbitration proceeding commence? That is what is asked over here. And the answer is E. When the request for arbitration is received by the respondent, unless otherwise agreed by the parties. Section 21 talks about commencement of arbitration proceedings. The parties may agree to resolve the disputes by fast-track procedure at any time during arbitration proceedings, at any time before the constitution of arbitral tribunal, at the time of constitution of arbitral tribunal, at any time even after constitution of arbitral tribunal. B or C. Parties may agree to resolve the disputes by fast-track procedure. We have a fast-track procedure also. Do be well prepared with the fast-track procedure and the timelines as well. Correct answer is E, B or C, at any time before constitution of arbitral tribunal or at the time of constitution as well. Section 29B talks about this. Obviously, you have to adopt it initially only. You cannot do that later. An arbitral award shall be signed by whom? Presiding officer, arbitrators mutually decide who shall sign, arbitral tribunal, parties along with arbitral tribunal. The answer is there on the screen. Answer is C, arbitral tribunal shall sign it. It is not an agreement as we have in case of conciliation that the parties will also sign it. This should be very clear to you. Arbitral award is just like a decision of a court only. Just the formalities are not there like in court, but actually it's an adjudication which the arbitrator carries out. And the parties have to accept it as binding. So their signature, question of their signature does not arise. Arbitral tribunal shall sign that. All the members of the arbitral tribunal. When can a plea that arbitral tribunal does not have jurisdiction be raised? At any time before the arbitral award is passed, at any time after the arbitral tribunal is constituted, at any time before the submission of statement of claim, at any time before the submission of statement of defense, at any time during the making of arbitral award, but not after that. So relating to jurisdiction, obviously the plea should be released, should be discussed quite earlier, at any time before the submission of statement of defense. Claim statement is given, that's fine. But if defense is also given, then we are quite ahead in the case. So the jurisdiction should be a preliminary issue. Always we have seen that in civil courts also. So it should be done at least before the submission of statement of defense. Section 16 talks about it. Clause 2. During the arbitral proceedings, interim measures can be ordered by the arbitral tribunal as under Section 17. So moto in some cases if the tribunal requires so. If the party makes an application to the tribunal, A and C both under Section 17, and if the party makes an application, A and B or C. Under Section 17, so moto only in some cases if the tribunal requires so, or if the party makes an application. Means all of them, one condition can be there. What is the correct answer? By looking at the options, we may get jumbled, but the correct answer is D, A and C. As under 17, you can make it, and C option if the party makes an application to the tribunal. It will never be suo moto by the tribunal. Parties have to approach the tribunal. The arbitral tribunal may meet at any place for dash in conduct of proceedings. Dash what they are asking you, may meet at any place for consultation among members, hearing witnesses, hearing experts or parties, inspection of documents or goods, all of the above. So all these things are the various stages in an arbitration proceeding. Though there is no definite procedure, but these can be the probable things which may happen while an arbitration proceeding is going on: consultation, hearing witnesses, experts, inspection of documents. So that may take place. All of these can take place at any place. Any such kind, even hearing of witnesses. That much flexibility is there. Section 20 talks about place of arbitration. Many times the question is also asked that who determines the place of arbitration, so the parties are free to agree on that. The statement of claim and defense shall be completed within dash since the arbitrator receives notice in writing of their appointment. Within how much time the statement of claim and defense shall be completed? Is there a specific time period for that? Now, the question and the options, it's by looking at the question and options, it seems that there is. So, we should know the time limits like this. Correct answer is A. It's within 6 months. Statement of claim and defense, section 23, clause 4 talks about it. Since the appointment of arbitrator or arbitrators, within 6 months at least the statement of claim and defense shall be completed. An arbitration agreement is agreement by parties to submit to arbitration immediately as a dispute arises. Agreement by parties to submit to arbitration all disputes irrespective of their nature. Agreement by parties to submit to arbitration certain disputes only. Agreement by parties to submit to arbitration certain disputes which may arise or have arisen in respect of a defined legal relationship which is contractual. Agreement by parties to submit to arbitration certain disputes which may arise or have arisen in respect of a defined legal relationship, whether contractual or not. So here there are small differences in the ingredients of the options which you can see over here. Now you can very easily understand that if you are having conceptual clarity and you know what are the essential ingredients. Arbitration agreement is a very important topic. We thoroughly prepared for that. It is expected from you. Correct answer is the last one. Certain disputes which may arise or have arisen, both in respect of a defined legal relationship, whether it is contractual or not, that does not matter. This is the correct definition. Section 7 talks about arbitration agreement in detail. Definition, essentials, everything is covered. So go through that properly. Very important topic. I hope the series is helping you out in revising your topics and conceptual clarity as well. Practice these questions on your own. कोई भी queries हो, we are there to help you. Reach out to us in the comment section of this video. Prepare 50% faster with us at iExamB. Download our app from the Google Play Store and check out the full course access available on our app as well. It is also available in the offline mode. You can check it out. And don't forget to subscribe to LegalB. Thank you everybody. Have a nice day.